So, you're new to spirituality or to astrology, and you're wondering, where the heck do I start with this? Why does it matter? And what are the benefits? And why should I even care about gaining more spirituality and learning about astrology? Maybe you're wondering how they tie in with each other, or again, what the purpose of these practices are in modern everyday life here in 2020. If you watch this video, I'm going to explain all of that and more in a very modern, practical way from the perspective of a former D1 athlete turned spiritual tarot reader and astrologer. Okay, so if you're new here, I'm going to explain all that. Welcome to the channel. My name is Brandon Tobias. I run this channel called Science of the Soul and Stars, and typically I do daily and weekly updates when it comes to your love and your life via the tarot and channeled messages. But today I decided to reach out to a different type of audience, also my existing subscribers, and just explain a little bit about what happened on my journey, and maybe it can help you too to understand why this is important for your life and where to start. So without boring you with my entire story, basically I want to share this, that the main reason astrology and spirituality are important isn't so that you can become some mystical spiritual guru who sits on a mountaintop and reads Tibetan texts all day. Okay? If that's your thing, that's awesome. That's not my thing. And I don't think that's many people's things these days. Okay? What I'm most interested in is changing the way the world works or looks at spirituality and looks at astrology so that they can see it as a vehicle to actually change the goodness of the earth, change the outlook, and change the future of the earth and every single life upon it. And the reason this is important is because when I first got into astrology, I was like what I perceive a lot of people to be on the earth right now, which is feeling lost and purposeless. I was feeling very depressed and down. I was feeling, anxious all the time as well because I didn't know what the heck I was supposed to be doing. And I was feeling trapped in my situation, in my job, in my life, in my living situation. And one of the things I realized was that I actually reached for spirituality out of desperation. And maybe that's where you're at too. Maybe you've gotten to a point in your life where nothing is making sense to you anymore that used to make sense. And now you're looking for something to explain why the heck you're here, why the heck we're here, and what we're doing here. And in essence, that's exactly what spirituality can do for you. It's a way for your person, your soul, in spirituality. We talk about the soul all the time. You'll hear me say the soul all the time, so time to get used to that if you're new to it. But we try to explain, or the whole goal of spirituality, the whole purpose of it, in my opinion, is to get your soul to, or your body, your mind, to understand why your soul is here. What is your soul's purpose here on earth? Why did your soul choose to incarnate here in a body for this lifetime? Okay. That's the whole purpose. I'm going to explain all that in a second and kind of break it down because I know that was a lot I just threw at you guys. But that's the whole purpose of spirituality, is understanding why you're here, understanding your purpose, and once you understand your purpose, empowering yourself through natural ways of motivation to reach your purpose. And as you reach your purpose, and even along the way, you feel the most motivated, you feel the most inspired, you feel the most empowered and happy and fulfilled. And all of these things, of course, is what everyone basically wants. And so spirituality is a vehicle to gaining your overall life fulfillment and happiness in the way that you've always dreamed. Okay? So that's my definition of spirituality. It's not about sitting on a mountain meditating under a tree with Tibetan texts. Nothing wrong with Tibet or Tibetan people. But I just know that they have a lot of bunks up there. And that's not what I'm interested in. Unless it's about karate. I like karate. So let me back up for a second. So back this was 8 years ago. Okay, I was a D1 college football player, and I was, I thought I was on my path. I'd gotten a full ride scholarship to go play football, and about a couple years into my journey on scholarship in college, my knee got hurt. I was in practice, and my meniscus, I had a torn meniscus after a drill. Anyways, that hurt knee led to a surgery. That surgery led to my entire body and my entire life changing. I have no idea why until this day, except that 2012 was a crazy, huge shift for a lot of people to get them more in alignment with their spiritual journey. So more on that later, if I remember. Could be the anesthesia, could be the pain meds, could be all the cannabis I was smoking at that time. Still don't know to this day. But either way, I started having massive panic attacks, massive anxiety, depression. I gained a lot of weight, and I had eczema, super high blood pressure. I had sleep apnea, onset sleep apnea. Just a mess, right? And through that crisis that happened in my life, which I now can see all of the blessings as to why that had to happen. But through that crisis, I had to find myself. I had to re-find myself, because basically I could no longer play or be motivated to play football in the way I was before. That was my whole identity, right? Was being a good football player. And after that surgery, for a multitude of reasons, I was no longer that football player that I had identified as, or a part of me had identified as. And so it forced me to divert my path and to begin really seriously learning about health, about nutrition, about holistic ways of healing the body, mind, and emotions. And then I learned about trauma, and I learned about meditation, and I learned about religion and spirituality, because I was not very spiritual at all at that time. And fast forward, 8 years later, I had completely reversed all the bad health, changes that had gone on. I'd gotten a really good job in the health field, and I was somewhat in alignment with my mission. And then that whole purposeless thing came to me again, and I knew another crazy shift was going to be happening to me. And so I began checking my astrology chart on YouTube. And basically what I had realized through that research is that my astrology chart was what led me to understand logically what my actual purpose was on Earth. And it's not like the astrology chart, you open it up and it's just like, here's your purpose. Here, just go do this. No. It takes a lot of study and interpretation and a lot of experience too in life to really understand the depth of what the planets in your chart and the placements of what they're trying to tell you. But anyways, mine had told me that I am meant to be a communicator that talked about and was involved in love and relationships for the benefit of the world, to create more levels of service and inspiration and guidance for the world at large. And I was meant to do this through the outlets of potentially digital media in more concise and impactful ways. This is the essence of what my astrology chart told me. Now, of course, when I read this 4 or 5 years ago now for the first time, or understood this, I had no idea that I'd be doing what I'm doing now, right? No one has any idea. But what it did was it diverted me into a new path that would lead to eventually my life purpose, which I believe I'm ultimately doing or involved in now, right? I feel fully in alignment with what I'm doing currently and how I'm serving my viewers here. So I told you that story. I'm not even sure why I told you that story, but that's kind of how I got to where I'm at. And looking back, as part of my spiritual journey, I realized that every single thing that happened along the way, right, from a spiritual perspective, was actually the world giving me things that I needed to do or to go through to learn and have the experiences I needed to have in order to pivot to where I am today. So if we think about what spirituality actually is, it's understanding how the universe around you, how the world actually works in a very logical way. Because every single thing, and I would have never realized this. If you talked to me 8 years ago, I would have thought, hey, I'm just screwed. I had this knee injury. I had this surgery. I'm never going to be the same. I'm never going to be able to play football. I'm not as powerful. I'm not a man anymore. All these things, right? And only today and in recent years, and you ask me the same question, I look back and I go, yeah, my life purpose started about 8 years ago. And that, my friends, that is the core essence of spirituality and what we're here to learn, is gaining the awareness that every single thing in your life, no matter how good, no matter how bad, no matter how dramatic, no matter how subtle, happens so that you can redirect your life onto the best possible path. Now, how do you tie this into astrology? Well, astrology is the soul's blueprint. Okay? Let me back up for 2 seconds and explain a basic premise of astrology, particularly what's called evolutionary astrology. I like to call it soul astrology or life purpose astrology. We look at the birth chart as an actual blueprint of the soul, and we believe that souls are eternal, and that the whole purpose of the soul's journey is to learn and experience all of the lessons it wants to experience, that God wants to experience, or universal source, or all that is, was, and ever will be, okay, in order to eventually return to source and to God, okay? That's the whole purpose of this thing, right? God, source, all that was, is, and ever will be, whatever you believe in, whatever you want to call it, there's that thing, that universal consciousness. That thing wants to experience itself. And to experience itself, it created and broke apart into all these different individual fragments of itself called souls. And then those souls are on this continuous journey, not just on this planet, but on multiple planets. And yes, I know we're getting there, but if you are curious about more of that, check out Dolores Cannon on Audible or her books. They changed my life. She's basically a renowned psychotherapist who was very skeptical and logical, but did hypnotherapy, past life regression hypnotherapy, and ended up basically hearing thousands and thousands and thousands of testimonials from people she would put into trance who would say the same thing, the same exact thing with no connection to one another, over and over and over, that she would correlate and take notes about the process of the afterlife, what happens after death, what happens, why we're all here. It's amazing. Go check out, there's a book, Dolores Cannon, Life After Death. That book changed my entire life and my perspective on spirituality. So, anyways, I get onto tangents. That's okay. Hopefully you're staying with me. And if you're here watching at this point, love you guys. Appreciate you. That's awesome. Hopefully you guys are liking this video. So astrology, okay, believes in the same premise, right? That we as souls incarnate into bodies and have particular conditioning, particular circumstance, particular predestined events that happen to help us shape and choose the destiny we want. So we have a mix of things that happen that are predestined to help us along our path, and choice within those predestined events, free will, about how we respond to those things that happen. Okay? So that's how you mix destiny or destined, birth charts or paths with free will. So someone can incarnate into a life, for example, and have the opportunity to be, rich and world famous and travel the world or be a world leader, all these things. That could be their potential life destiny. But let's just say because of their free will, they actually choose when those opportunities come up to do the opposite, or to choose the darkness, or to choose, drugs or laziness or sex or games, whatever. That's a possibility, okay? There's a thing called potential that exists. And guess what? If that person doesn't take advantage of that opportunity and learn and to utilize their inner potential that they were given on this life, in this body, in their body, then probably when they die, the next life, they're going to come and repeat the whole thing again. All right? So this is the evolutionary journey of the soul. Now, I hope I'm not going too fast. I hope this makes sense to you guys. Let me know in the comments below. Give this video a like if it's helping you out to understand this whole thing. But this is kind of the basic premise of spirituality astrology in a way I think that can be easily explained to the modern individual. So astrology helps you to learn what specific journey and what specific lessons and experiences you want to have in your lifetime, in this lifetime, all right? Even if you don't believe in multiple lifetimes, even if you are strictly Christian or Catholic, whatever your belief is, it's okay. And if you don't believe in multiple lives, that's okay. But just know astrology will tell you, right, what your inner self wants to experience in this life. And if you know that, Ask yourself, how much more empowered would you be if you knew what your soul, your deepest part of yourself, wants to experience versus if you didn't know that and you're just guessing the whole time? I can't tell you how lost I would probably be if I didn't have the North Star of my astrology chart. Because I wouldn't know what the heck I'm supposed to be doing, where the heck I'm supposed to be going. And, life's events would probably seem random to me, even if I look back. Okay. But because I know where I'm going, because of my astrology chart, which evolves every day, by the way, I'm always getting new insights when I look at my astrology chart about what something means or where I should be going. I can look back and see how the pieces of my life that happened to me, good and bad, made sense to get me where I am today. Okay. So that's the empowerment side of astrology. And if you can understand that, you can understand your soul purpose, your soul journey, your soul intention. There's literally something in astrology called the North Node and South Node, which tells you what type of past lives and conditioning you're coming from. And the North Node is like where your soul is going. It's literally, it explains it and it lays it out. Yes, in these complicated arrangements and glyphs, but if you can understand the glyphs or even just get a reading, I mean, it's life-changing. Okay, it's very life-changing. And I feel deeply in my soul that it would help out thousands, if not millions of people to understand even the basics of their astrology chart to know where they're going and how to get there. Well, how to get there, it's not always it's actually not in the birth chart. It's just where you're going. And then things you might encounter along the way. How to get there is up to you. Yeah, it's up to your choice. It's up to life to basically give you the opportunities in alignment with your choices to get to where you want to get. But either way, you work together with life through your openness and your choice to do better, move forward, to accept and be open to the opportunities that life gives you, to look at things in a way that empowers you, okay, versus disempowers you. Because one of the core beliefs in the basics of spirituality is that, as I said, and I'm living proof of this, because I would never be where I'm at today, which I am fully feeling in alignment with my soul journey, where I'm at, what I've done, what I've accumulated. I would never be where I'm at without all of the things negative that I perceived as negative at that time happening to me. The surgery, the hard breakups, the pain and the health illnesses, right? And the just all the things, right? The injuries would never be where I'm at today. And so if I'd known that at that time, life would have been a lot better, because I'd have faith and trust that even though things are tough, it's going to be leading me ultimately towards the best direction. And so I can now take that with me wherever I go and whatever happens to me, because I know, because of experience, that ultimately life is leading you towards the best possible destination. Okay? So I just wanted to put a quick video out there, see how you guys like it, see if you guys want more. We can go even deeper in astrology, in spirituality, how they work together, okay? And just keep talking about it if you guys want to continue this conversation. So let me know in the comments below if you guys like this content, if it's obvious to you or easy. If you guys want more specific content, what kind of content, let me know in the comments below what you guys would like to see, and if you like this video. And definitely hit that like button if it helped you, and so it can help this video grow and guide more people. Okay, so thanks so much, guys, for watching. If you want more updates like this, okay, and more explanations in a simple way about astrology and spirituality, how to read birth charts, how to find out your purpose, relationship stuff, all that, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Soul family. We would love to have you. All right, guys, peace and love to you all. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.